What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA action here on Tuesday, November 17th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game, and look at a bunch of player props, and I'll be giving you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, still have quite a bit going on. Off to a decent start, though. On the NFL side, we cashed George Pickens over 64.5 receiving yards at -114. That was a very, very easy win for us. Pickens already cracking 100+ receiving yards before this game had even gotten to halftime. So that one's looking very, very good. We cashed the Cavaliers, -6.5. A bit of good luck for us there in the early portion of the night with Giannis going down with a groin injury and the Cavaliers pulling away late, thanks in large part to Donovan Mitchell doing his thing, but also Sam Merrill had a great night shooting the ball, something we're getting, fairly used to seeing from him. Might be about to get some good luck here on this Heat game. We'll see how that goes. The Clippers, Philadelphia 76ers game, I would say we got a little bit unlucky. Very annoying to see this game finish up 218 total points, so missing by one bucket. The pace wasn't amazing in this game, and the return of Paul George was pedestrian at best. They need him to play better if they are going to find a way to trade that massive, massive contract. Now, it looks like Toronto has pretty much blown things. They had a nice little lead there against Charlotte. All of a sudden, the game is tied up with less than a minute left, so that one's not looking so hot. We're going to need them to play well in overtime. The New Orleans Pelicans, we're obviously going to be looking for a backdoor cover here. That was always going to be the case. They're down by 25 at the end of the third quarter, but it looks like we're probably going to see the Thunder clearing the bench here in the fourth quarter, so that should definitely help us a little bit there. We have the Heat at -1.5. They just came through with the win and cover, winning 115-113. A very close game. An overturned goaltending call there on Kel Ware really, really helps us out. So we do cash our massive lock of the day. That one feels pretty good. Was a bit sketchy down the stretch, but hey, we will definitely take it. Good thing we got in very, very early there on the Miami Heat. So looking like a decent chance to be a positive day. We've already locked up at least a push on the day. So let's see if we can find a little bit more down the stretch. And let's see if we can find a little bit more out there here on Tuesday. A pretty solid little slate here on Tuesday. And first up, we're going to be looking at the Golden State Warriors here as they go on the road to take on the Orlando Magic. The Warriors come into this game 9-6 on the season, winners of 3 in a row. They just knocked off the Pelicans there in New Orleans, 124-106, so a pretty easy win there. No letdown for the Warriors coming off those massive back-to-back road wins there in San Antonio. Now, in that win over the Pelicans, obviously Golden State didn't really have to put their best foot forward. Steph only playing 28 minutes in that game, had only 9 points, a terrible shooting night for him, a big cool-off spot, but we got a massive night there for Moses Moody, who had 32 points, 10 of 16 from the field, 8 of 12 from 3, a monster performance from him. We liked what we saw from Jimmy Butler, some contributions off the bench from guys like Buddy Hield, Bajemski actually having a very good night there as well, 19 points off the pine from him. I'm not going to get excited about that, though. We need guys like that playing better, or the Warriors need guys like that playing better, not against teams like the Pelicans, but against actual, medium to top tier competition. So we'll see what things look like for the Warriors in this one. Obviously, a team that every game is going to matter for when it comes to playoff seeding there in the West. They are relatively healthy coming into this game with some, key exceptions. Kuminga still dealing with that knee issue, has officially been ruled out for this game. Buddy Hield is on the injury report as well, dealing with an illness. He is probable, so it sounds like he'll be out there. And D'Anthony Melton making his way onto the injury report. He's going to be, he assigned there to Santa Cruz Warriors. They recalled him there on Friday, so seems like he's not too far off from, actually being ready to go, but there's no indication that he'll play in this game. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road to take on these Orlando Magic, who are now 7-7 on the season. They're coming off a close, very competitive loss there in Houston, a tough opponent to face. They had won 3 straight before that, taking down the Nets, Knicks, and Portland Trailblazers, playing some pretty close games there over that stretch. And against the Rockets, they just didn't have enough down the stretch. They did go into overtime in that game, and they made it a very, very crazy game. Franz Wagner playing 43 minutes. Tristan da Silva in the starting lineup there playing 40 minutes himself. 44 minutes there from Desmond Bane. Pretty heavy minutes loads for those guys. Really have to step up big time and pick up the slack that is left there by the absence of Paolo Banchero dealing with that groin issue. Now, Franz Wagner continues to shoot the ball a little bit better from long range, but only 8 of 21 from the field. Leaves a little bit to be desired. Desmond Bane only 2 of 7 from 3, 9 of 20 from the field. Anthony Black, a big game from him. the bench is very, very, very thin here for this Orlando Magic team. They got to find a way to get some production there coming off the pine, and they've been dealing with some injuries themselves, so a lot of extra minutes have to be absorbed. We'll see what they can do here. They are playing at home. That has to help at least a little bit. Looking at the injury report here, we see Suggs on there and Paolo Banchero on there. Now, Jalen Suggs, he's officially questionable due to right groin soreness. It seems maybe even slightly unlikely that he plays in this game. We'll have to keep a close eye on that leading up to game time, but it is looking a little bit questionable on how fast. Like, is he really going to be able to keep up with Steph if he's dealing with any sort of lingering effects from that injury? That feels like a very big ask to me. And Paolo Banchero, guys, he will not be. Well, he was officially ruled out for that game against the Nets. I think that it's pretty unlikely that he ends up coming back here against the Warriors, but we'll have to keep an eye on this. The line does make it look like the odds makers expect this to be pretty competitive. The Magic are getting 3 or 3.5 points, depending on which book you look at. We've got a total of 225.5 in this one. The Warriors are 9-6 against the spread this season. They are 10-5 to the over. The Orlando Magic are 8-6 against the spread. They are a 500 over/under team. I would maybe lean just a hair towards over in this game, but no major lean on the total here. Much better than that. I like the Warriors here at -3. They've just been playing so well. This is under the impression that Paolo will not be playing in this game, so keep an eye on that leading up to game time, but I would be pretty surprised to see him come back for this one. So definitely like the Warriors here in this spot. We've also got several player props we like in this game, and first up, one that I like quite a bit. I'll take Franz Wagner over 1.5 made threes in this game at -122. He's been trying to step up here in the absence of Banchero, and that has included shooting more threes. Franz has shot 7, 9, and 8 threes respectively in his first 3 games, and has knocked down at least 2 in each of those games. So I think here, facing a Warriors team that won't be too bothered about him shooting from distance, he should be able to knock in at least 2, and shooting on home rims has to help at least a little bit. I also like Wendell Carter Jr. here over 11.5 points at -118. The Warriors are not a great team at defending on the interior, and Wendell Carter Jr. is doing a very good job chipping in to make up for Paolo being sidelined, scoring over this number in 4 of his last 5 games, including putting up 15 in overtime, albeit against a very tough Houston opponent. I'll also, on the Warriors side here, take Brandon Podziemski under 16.5 points plus rebounds at -102. I know that Pods is coming off a good night there against the Pelicans. I don't think we see anything similar tonight, as the Magic have some real athletes that try and lock you down on defense, and he's been under this number in all 3 of the games before that Pelicans game, so I don't think this is the emergence of Pods as like some amazing transcendent scorer or rebounder. I think he's going to have a pretty rough time against the Magic, or just something more in line with what we've seen from him on a nightly basis this season. Last but not least, I'll take Steph Curry here over 26.5 points at -122. This is a big bounce back spot for him after, by his standards, a terrible game there, albeit a game where he didn't need to do much against the Pelicans. He's been absolutely on fire recently. Those 2 games against the Spurs were nuts. The Magic don't really have great options to slow him down, especially if Suggs is, banged up. And Curry, he's just going to keep this rolling here. I think he gets back on track in this one. Send a message to his team about what they're trying to achieve this season. Hey guys, hop in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. We're looking at a nice little run there on the college basketball side of things. If Alabama State can keep it even semi-competitive tonight, we could be looking at a 3-0 night there on college basketball. So definitely get over to StumpTheSpread.com, check out the premium stuff, but you certainly want to get over there and check out all the free stuff we offer at StumpTheSpread.com every single day. There's free picks over there all the time under the free picks tab. There's tons of great information in those plays. There's also our free to use bet size calculator to use, but maybe the best free resource we offer is our free email newsletter, guys. It's a fantastic resource every single day. It's very easy to sign up. You just click the link in the description to go to StumpTheSpread.com, or just type StumpTheSpread.com into your browser of choice. Click that little green login button at the top right hand corner. That'll prompt you to set up a free account. All they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address. That is it. You get 1 email straight to your inbox every single day. So definitely want to get in on that. It's got tons of information, at least 1, oftentimes 2 or 3 free picks. College basketball, NFL, NBA, college football, anything you can imagine could potentially be included in those emails. Information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis, crazy stuff like that. Parlays are included in those, but maybe the best thing is our NFL touchdown props and NFL plays on the weekend. Coming off a very nice weekend, cashing the Jaguars +3 in their blowout when they're over the Chargers, cashing a few touchdown props. Also have more touchdown props live here currently on Monday Night Football, so definitely want to get in on that free email list, guys. It's a fantastic resource and it's absolutely free. All you have to do is sign up once and you'll be getting those until you decide you don't want it anymore, which given the results, I don't think you'll be deciding that anytime soon. Also, you want to get over there to stumpthespread.com and check out all the premium stuff we offer. We've got a team of experienced cappers covering all the major sports. Every single one of the cappers over there has over a decade's worth of experience covering his given sport, and just a crazy amount of research goes into those plays every single day. And like I was saying, potentially an undefeated day there on the college basketball side of things. A little bit of bad luck there on NBA. Going to be a push there on the Heat. The Raptors really didn't show up for us, and Maxey sat at 3 rebounds for basically the whole game. So that was tilting. Still lots of action there to go in the NFL, and a couple, still action to go there on the NHL picks. So we'll see how those work out. But cashing North Dakota State and cashing Drake already, I think both of those ended up being straight up wins on some underdog plays. Maybe we should have sprinkled the money line on those. But looking like a decent night over there on the premium side. Definitely want to check that out. And also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members-only giveaways, guys. We give away Stump the Spread hoodie here to one random YouTube channel member every single week. We just gave one away on Monday. This coming Monday, we'll be giving away another one. So definitely want to get in on that. We put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel, and whoever it lands on get a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed to their address of choice. So definitely want to get in on that if you're interested. Now, guys, let's go ahead and dive back in. We've got the whole rest of this NBA slate to cover. And next up, we're going to be looking at the Boston Celtics as they head to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. The Celtics come into this game 7-7 on the season, fresh off a 3-point win there over the Clippers. So I'm sure they're feeling very positive about that. A nice win down the stretch in a game where we once again see Jaylen Brown go pretty nuts. 33 points for him, a 30-piece there from Peyton Pritchard. He knocked in 8 out of his 13 threes. Derek White playing well, 22 points for him, made 4 out of his 8 threes, and had 9 assists and 7 boards. So just very, very solid work. Those guys are really carrying the load here. The bench, I mean, we saw good stuff from Luka Garza, who's actually playing really well right now. Has been catching a lot of flack over the course of the season. Bill Simmons specifically, big Celtics fan Bill Simmons, really talking a lot of crap about Garza playing. Well, he played 14 minutes and scored 13 points. Not an awful lot wrong with that. So liking what we're seeing right now from the Celtics. Obviously, this isn't a team that's necessarily designed to win this season in the whole, Jason Tatum being sidelined, but we'll see what they can do. They're making some noise out there in the East. A 500 team in the East is not a bad look, in terms of making the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. Now, the injury report also looks very, very good. This team is healthy and ready to go for this game as they head into Brooklyn to take on the Nets, who are doing a really good job this season of losing games. This is a team that's supposed to tank, and tank they are. They're 2-11 on the season. That being said, they're coming off one of their best performances of the year. They blew out the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards, 129-106. Not exactly a monster team to beat, but Michael Porter Jr. played well, 34 points in his 34 minutes and was a plus 17. Really, the whole starting lineup looked pretty good out there. This isn't a team that's designed to compete necessarily, but, Tyrese Martin, 20 points off the bench. That'd be nice if he turned out to be good. Zaire Williams looking okay out there. They shot 41 threes, made 17 of them. That's 41% from deep. So a pretty good day out there from the Washington Wizards overall. Obviously, or a pretty good day out there for the Brooklyn Nets over the Washington Wizards, but let's not throw them a parade for beating the Wizards, a team that's actually more successfully tanking than they are. So looking at the injury report here for the Nets, they are fully healthy coming into this game as well. So congratulations on that. We'll see if that translates into any kind of success out there. Looking at the numbers, the Nets, they're getting 10.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 224.5. Boston, 5-9 against the spread this season. They are 8-6 to the under. Brooklyn, they're a 500 against the spread team. They are 8-5 to the over this year. And given that very small number of 224.5, a couple teams that like to shoot threes, I do think we want to lean towards the over in this game. Will it make the pinned comment? We'll see. I would say it's a pretty solid play. I do like it more than the side in this one. If you're begging me for a side, I will lean towards the Celtics here, minus 10.5, just based on the Nets being in a big letdown spot after that win, but not really a play that I'm interested in too much. Celtics not usually blowing out opponents this year, so I am going to lean here just a bit, just going to go towards that over. I think we'll see plenty of offense in this game. Also, guys, I've got a couple of player props that I like in this one. And first up, I'll take Derek White here over 22.5 points plus assists at -112. White has been growing into his new role as a primary scorer there for the Celtics in this weird season as they continue to wait for the return of Jason Tatum, who's, advancing at a breakneck speed, trying to come back from that Achilles injury. So we'll see how that goes over the next few months. In the last 5 games, he's been over this number, I think, in every game. So I fully expect him to have a big night here against a terrible Nets squad. I worry a little bit about blowout risk, potentially, but not too much here. So yeah, I definitely think this is a good spot for Derek White. I also don't despise this spot for Michael Porter Jr. I'll take him over 23.5 points in this game. He has been over this number in 4 of his last 5 games. And as the team keeps losing, the stats he's putting up seem more and more meaningless, but he's not about to stop shooting. And the Celtics don't strike me as an elite level defense, at least not yet. Still a pretty small sample size. This is a letdown spot for him though, coming off a big night against Washington. So this probably isn't going to end up in the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Detroit Pistons going on the road to take on the Atlanta Hawks. The Pistons come into this game 12-2 on the season. They just keep reeling off wins no matter how banged up they are. That was their 10th straight win they just got as they took down the Pacers 127-112. We thought they would maybe have some trouble with Cade missing games and stuff like that. Cade's not having trouble. He's inking big 6-year deals with Nike. Sounds like he's going to get his own signature shoe. So very, very cool news there for Cade. You love to see it. Now, in their win over the Pacers, nothing that insane really coming out of Detroit. Just a good team win. Javonte Green played really, really well in that game. I mean, he put up 27 points, 17 there from Karis LeVert. He's continued to score the ball better and better coming off the bench. Love what we're seeing from Duncan Robinson. 13 points in 34 minutes is not exactly amazing, but getting some good production there. Just in general, Isaiah Stewart, 10 points, 2 rebounds in his 20 minutes. Good to see him coming back and being at least slightly productive, but Jalen Duren really carried the load in this game. 31 points from him and 15 rebounds there in only 29 minutes played. So very, very good work there from the Pistons as they just continue to shrug off the fact that they're pretty banged up. Looking at the injury report, Cade, Asar Thompson, and Tobias Harris all missing that game. Looking at their potential availability for this game, we'll see how it goes. Cade dealing with that hip issue, obviously didn't play there against the Pacers. There's a chance he could be back and ready to go for this one against the Hawks. Asar Thompson, obviously not playing on the front half of the back-to-back, but could potentially play on the back half. And Tobias Harris, sounds like he's probably still going to be sidelined. But we'll have to wait and see a little bit on that as they head to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Now, obviously playing on no rest can be a little bit tough, and playing against the Hawks can be a little bit tough to Atlanta. They came through for us back on, on Sunday? And they got the 124-122 win there over the Phoenix Suns. So good work there. Okongwu, a monster game for him, putting up 27 points, 25 from Jalen Johnson, 26 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, having one of his best games as an Atlanta Hawk. And the bench production, just still not there. Now, the bench is stretched a little bit thin. We are loving what we're seeing from Dyson Daniels there in the starting lineup, 12 assists to go along with his 11 points, but just things are a little bit murky right now. Trae Young being sidelined is not great for this team, obviously. They are managing to win a lot of games, but when you look at the opponents they're facing, it's not that incredible. Now, Ricochet did take a very scary fall in that game. We don't really expect him to play in this one. He is listed as questionable, so apparently there's a choice. He's young. When you're 20, you can absorb falls like that a lot more easily than when you are an old person, but I will, that was a scary one. That was for sure a scary one. Now, Porzingis dealing with a knee issue is questionable for this game. The last time he played was against the Kings back on the 12th, so maybe there's a chance he plays in this one, but him missing time already is a bit concerning here. But the Hawks continue to play well, and look at the numbers, guys. They're only 1.5 point favorites here. We've got a total of 228.5. Detroit, they're 9-4 against the spread. They're a 500 over-under team. They're also 0-2 against the spread this season on no rest. The Hawks are 8-6 against the spread. They're 7-7 to the over-under. No real lean on the total in this game. Depending on injury reports, this will mostly be a wait-and-see spot. I do think I'm going to like the Hawks here playing at home, but got to keep a very, very close eye on this one. If Cade and everybody is coming back and playing in this game, that obviously makes a big, big difference, and we'll see some big line movement. Also, whether or not Ricochet plays in this game makes a big difference to me as well. So keep a very close eye on the injury report for this game. It's going to be very, very key. The Grizzlies, they are 4-10 on the season, having a nightmare of a time. They did manage to keep things competitive at Cleveland their last time out, eventually losing 108-100. So, I mean, they kept themselves right there. Jaren Jackson Jr. leading the way with 26 points. Ja Morant only had 7 points and played 6 minutes, so played well in his limited minutes, but that calf issue that he suffered is now going to keep him out for at least a couple weeks. And something with a calf, guys, you don't want to push him back. You end up blowing out an Achilles, and then you're going to be out for God knows, for a year. at least a year. So not going to be rushed him back. Zach Edey coming back has been a big deal for this team. 13.7 boards for him in his 25 minutes. It was actually a +1. The bench continues to be a problem. Santi Aldama putting up good numbers and good production coming off the bench, but other than that, it's looking very, very bleak for this team, coming off the pine. So we'll see what they can do in this one, guys. The Grizzlies not in very good shape. I don't know who they can really trade or what they could try to do to rearrange things. We'll see. Obviously, if they get Scottie Pippen Jr. and Ty Jerome back, maybe that could change the complexion of this situation, but it's not looking great. Ty Jerome has been officially ruled out for this game, but he is nearing his return, could be making his season debut and career debut for the Memphis Grizzlies here in the not too distant future. But we'll have to wait and see on that. They're heading to San Antonio to take on a Spurs team that's 9-4 on the season. They just lost back-to-back games to the Warriors, but bounced back with a nice 123-110 win there over the Sacramento Kings. It was the Kings, so let's not freak out too much, but loved what we're seeing from DeMar DeRozan getting back in the mix there. With the Kings, he played great in that loss, but really what we're concentrating here on is De'Aaron Fox. A big revenge game for him against the Sacramento Kings. 28 points, 11 of 20 from the field. He's looking great getting back out there. And this was a game where we saw the Spurs end up resting Wemby. So, yeah, a big win for them to win in convincing fashion without their best player is a very, very good look. The bench looking great. 3 double-digit scores coming off the pine. They shot 37% from 3. That'll definitely work, and did a very good job on the board. So, loving life right now if you're a San Antonio Spurs fan. Looking at the injury report, we do see Castle on there, Wembanyama on there as well. Castle, he's dealing with a hip issue. He officially will not play in this game. Wembanyama, with his calf issue, is expected to miss multiple weeks. I did not realize this injury was that extreme. Oh, this was only updated a few hours ago. Okay, wow, that is not great. I did not realize he was going to be missing that much time. Well, time for De'Aaron Fox to try and take over and be the number 1 for this team. So we'll see what happens in this one. The Spurs are 6.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 234.5. Memphis is only 4-10 against the spread this season. They are 9-5 to the under. The Spurs are 5-6-2 against the spread. They are 7-6 to the over. With no Ja, with him being ruled out here for a bit, you would think we'd want to lean towards the Spurs, and I think we will still be doing that. I'm just not fully convinced this is an amazing, amazing spot. Now, it is a shorter slate. I do think the Spurs are going to win this game. Will they win by 7? That's not a huge spread, so maybe this will end up finding its way into the pinned comment. Maybe we'll lean a little bit more towards the Spurs money line or something like that, something a little bit more safe, but I do think this is a spot, despite the Wemby injury, that you still want to be on the San Antonio Spurs. They're a pretty deep team. Even a big loss like that, I think they can kind of absorb it. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Utah Jazz going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Jazz have been a very interesting team this season. They're 5-8 on the year. They're coming off a 150-147 overtime win there against the Bulls. Oh, yeah, that was actually a double overtime win. It was Kobe White's first game back there for the Bulls, and we loved cashing his over on points there. Double overtime would have definitely helped. We didn't need it, though. He would have cashed it anyway, but a very nice win there for the Utah Jazz. Markkanen going nuts as usual. 47 points from him, 15 of 33 from the field, 6 of 17 from 3, so maybe not the best shooting percentages, but he played great. He also played 46 minutes in this game, so keep a close eye on that. Nurkic, 38 minutes, 5 points, 14 rebounds. I don't know how excited you were supposed to get about Nurkic, but Keontae George looks like a great piece. 33 points from him, 10 of 27 from the field. Once again, not great shooting percentage stuff, but he played really well. Ace Bailey, not super stoked about what we've been seeing from him here in the early goings, but it's still very, very early on, and he is obviously a rookie. Good production off the bench for guys like Sensabaugh, Isaiah Collier playing well, Kevin Love actually being a nice guy off the bench for this Utah Jazz team, especially when they need him to soak up minutes in a crazy, crazy double overtime game. Now, looking at the injury report here, the starters are all healthy and ready to go for the Jazz. That's a great sign. We do see Filipowski on the injury report. He's not a huge piece. He's questionable, sprained right wrist. We'll see if he plays or not. It's not a huge concern in this game. Looking at their opponent here is the Lakers, and we got big news coming in for the Lakers here. LeBron practices and officially is questionable to play in this game. Now, the Lakers have been playing great. They're 10-4 on the season. Maybe haven't faced the toughest schedule and haven't been finding wins against the toughest opponents, but when Luka's out there, this team is looking pretty good, and Luka is killing. He had 41 points. He did shoot 20 free throws in that game, but if you go back and look, I saw something on Twitter. It was like, look at all, it was just a video of all the times he got fouled, and it was like, I guess really most of these were very legitimate fouls. Also liking what we're seeing from Austin Reeves. DeAndre Ayton is living up to all the promise that he's shown at different stops along his career trajectory and looked pretty good in that game. So the Lakers potentially adding LeBron into the mix. I'm not going to say they look bad. I'm going to say things are looking pretty good there for the Lakers. And they come into this game looking pretty healthy overall. Obviously, LeBron is questionable for this game, but other than that, they are ready to go with every key piece basically, ready to get out there. So we'll see how it looks. The odds makers like the Lakers here a lot. They are 11.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 236.5 in this game. The Jazz are 8-5 against the spread, 7-6 to the over. The Lakers are 10-4 against the spread, 9-5 to the over. I don't think over 236.5 is ridiculous in this game. I think we'll see plenty of offense out there. In terms of a side, I'll take the Lakers minus 11.5. Whether LeBron plays or not, I think if he does play, that is a positive thing. So definitely like this spot here for the Lakers. I think they blow out the very, very exhausted Utah Jazz here, who I don't think are really going to be that ready to go in this one, playing on the road. Last but not least, we're looking at the Phoenix Suns going on the road to take on the Portland Trailblazers. The Suns are 8-6 on the season. They are fresh off that very, very tough 124-122 loss against the Hawks. That loss actually snapped a 5-game winning streak there for the Suns, who have been overachieving based on their preseason projections. Now, in that loss, we liked a good amount of what we saw. I mean, a big day there from Dillon Brooks. I don't know if we want him shooting more shots than Devin Booker, but if he's hot, he's hot. I guess let him fire him up. Booker was 0-6 from 3 in that game. He was part of the reason they lost. He did have 27 points, but wasn't amazing. Jordan Goodwin playing great off the bench. So was Colin Gillespie. So some very good numbers coming off the pine. They did not get the same amount of free throws. They did have a good edge there on the board. So really a game the Suns probably should have found a way to win, especially playing at home. But we'll see if they've got a bounce back in them. They are going on the road in this one, heading to Portland. And obviously the injury report here will be very, very key for the Phoenix Suns. It'll be interesting to see what they can do here without Grayson Allen, who has officially been ruled out for this game. It's unfortunate. Allen was playing great, but now he's sidelined dealing with that quadriceps issue. Not 100% sure when he'll be back. It is apparently just a bruise, so he should be back in the not too distant future, but will not be out there in this one. Other than him, the Suns are rested and ready to go here as they head to Portland to take on the Trailblazers, who are 6-7 on the year. They've actually lost 4 out of their last 5, coming up short in a 138-133 loss there in Dallas. And yeah, things have not been headed the Trailblazers' way. They did get off to a nice little bump there after Chauncey Billups was arrested, and switching head coaches seemed to give him a little bit of extra energy, but didn't look that great there against a terrible Mavs team, taking a loss there. 36 points there from Shadion Sharp. He's having a great season. Denny Adjeva played really, really well, but did blow a shot there in overtime, or at the end of regulation. But yeah, losing in overtime to the Mavs is not a great look. They didn't play amazing in that game. They did, have a nice little edge there on the boards, but just not the best showing there from the Portland Trailblazers. Definitely a team that would have expected to be a little bit better against a team that's that bad. Now, looking at their injury report, Drew Holiday's on there. That's a pretty big consideration. You look at that cap issue, he's doubtful for this game, and without him out there to guard guys like, Dillon Brooks if he's going nuts, but especially not out there to guard guys like, the most important one would be Devin Booker. That's not great. That is not great. That's definitely a problem. So look at the numbers here, guys. The Blazers are actually 4.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 236.5. The Suns, they are 9-5 against the spread. They're a 500 over-under team. Portland's only 6-7 against the spread. They are 10-3 to the over. I'm not going to take over 236.5 in this game, but I'm more than happy to take the Phoenix Suns here, getting all those points. Getting 4.5 points in this spot, I think they're in great shape. They could potentially win this game straight up, so I will certainly be backing the Phoenix Suns here, getting those 4.5 points. We are also very happy to note here at the end of the video that the Oklahoma City Thunder let go of the rope there. The Pelicans come back, end up losing that game by only 11, so we cash our dog of the day as well, locking in another profitable day for you guys. So let's get after it. Click that thumbs up button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list. Check out all the free picks we post over there every single day. Get on those premium picks. Tons of work going into those premium picks every single day across all the major sports. So definitely want to check that out. And we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.